Hi, I'm Linnea Quigley, the Scream Queen, and you're listening to the Tim O and Harley Show.
Welcome to the Tim O and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to Tim O and Harley Show. I am Tim O. Over there's my partner in mind crime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, the Hangman Harley.
Hey, Tim O, how you doing, my man?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Now, as you hear this in real time, if you're listening to this, our lovely and friendly audience, we are back from Retro Invasion Weekend. But as we record this, we're not there yet. We're getting ready to go. We got to leave. Yeah, we got about 2 days to get there. So we're going to quickly get this show going, and then we're going to pack and get everything ready at home. We have to leave. That's right. So we're looking forward to that. Now next week here, we're bringing Danny back to Dermal Ridge, and then we're going to have one or two shows. Hicks season. Hold on.
Definitely having
Hold on. I'm in my Hicks blind. Hold on.
Yeah.
Got my Hicks call out. It's mating season for the Hicks.
He's a little slower at this time of the year.
I'm peering across the morning dew. Hold on, let me see. All right, well, we're gonna have to wait for that Hicks season. When the baby Hicks grouse comes around. So I got a Hicks trap set.
You do?
Oh, they're always at a convention. Yeah, they hit.
That's true.
I always set those at conventions.
He always ends up back in your house.
Yeah, in St. Louis. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So I sprung a Hicks trap.
Drinking something, and then boom, gone.
Yeah, right. So the next we're gonna have a Hicks season. Yay! Yeah. We haven't had one for a while. It's been about a year.
No, we haven't.
No, so usually we're having them like two Hicks seasons in a year. Now it's dwindled to one, but that's okay because we're going to make a count, Mr. Ben.
Yes,
I don't know what movie or movies we're going to terrorize Danny with. But they'll be terrorizing.
Poor fella.
Yeah. So,
what did he ever do to us? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whoa. I mean, there might have been a few things here along the way, but so we are back from Retro Invasion, obviously. Now we're going to give our report next week with Senior Danny Hicks. We'll have him back so he can give you a scoop what he thought of the inaugural show. Because if you're on the fence, you're silly. You shouldn't be on the fence because the time to go to a show is when they're getting geared up and going.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
I think sometimes when they've been around for a while, I mean, they're great because they're established, but it's a little bit of a cattle call. A little bit of a cattle call, but that's okay. That's good for them. Good for the promoters. That means that they got everything on autopilot and they're probably making a few dollars.
Exactly.
And that's good.
Exactly.
That's good. So, all right, Mr. Ben Harley, let's see. I think that's about all. Now we do have, of course, we mentioned Angie O gets to come, so she got to come to the show. Now she has to go through the chemo and radiation. So we'll keep everybody posted on that. She's getting a port put in for her chemo, which is like this little thing under your skin.
Yes.
It's like a piece of plastic. Basically, that way, whenever they stab her with the needle, they're getting in the same spot every time and getting in a good vein. We'll report back tonight, keep everybody posted, but that's where that is.
We're happy, though. We're so excited that she's coming. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah,
so happy for her and for us, too, because I'm selfish. No.
I'm a little selfish, too, so we'll be everybody fighting over her. I want her to be better. No, I do. Speaking of friends that want her to get better, let's see. We got Rhino. We've been talking about Rhino's Boatyard. Big Daddy's Boatyard. You're doing T-shirts for that, too, right? And it's the season. It's the season. Now, where is this at exactly? Because I'm not super familiar with Michigan, and I do believe the mailing address is a town I'm not totally aware of.
It's called Bowles Harbor.
That would probably be why. Okay, I don't know that. Okay.
So it's not from here as straight as the crow flies. Oh, look out.
I know. Yep.
Is there a crow there?
That's probably a crow. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's probably about maybe I'd say 40 minutes from here.
Okay. From Toledo, from Toledo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's
So how far from Detroit in Michigan would it be? I know it's in that
probably
vicinity.
only like 20 minutes.
Okay,
maybe.
so it's suburb almost.
Not too
away.
far. Yeah, 20 minutes or something.
Gotcha.
But it's I'm really happy for him, especially as a boater and stuff. And I hope he does well and he gets people to get some docks there, which I think he will. Mm. He's a nice guy. I didn't say that. I didn't say that on radio. Yeah.
yeah. Well, but no, he's a nice guy. Rhino, ooh, he's a snot, man. Let me tell you.
Exactly. Yeah. But, I'm really happy for him. So happy, and I think this is going to be a really good thing for him. And I know he'll be able to he's a good person to work with. So I don't think he'll have any problems getting people up there. So.
I don't either. Well, now I saw pictures of it. Now is the whole the whole area his or just one of those docks he's showing?
I think he actually has, I don't know if he owns the land, but I'm pretty sure
it's like that whole water area with the multiple docks coming off of it. Yes, that's all his marina type thing.
Yeah. He has 69 sloops or slips or whatever you want to call them or docks, however you want to say that.
Sexy.
Yeah. 69, baby. Keep it right there. So, there is, not to be too drabby for you people, but, there is a lot of boaters in Michigan. There's more boater registrations in the state of Michigan than any state in America. So there's a lot of boating that goes on up there. So I think he'll be fine. And with his personality and things like that, and people are always looking for a good dock space, So and plus too, like from here, it's not that far of a drive or people, and then you're right out of the lake, lickety split.
Right.
You're right there. You don't have to go up the river. Like here, you have to go up the Maumee River to get to the lake, which isn't bad. But it's
now, do they rent boats? Do you know?
He might, which is probably a good idea. I'm sure he might rent out some smaller boats
for maybe a 3-hour cruise,
3-hour tour, my friend.
Tour, yeah.
Look out for those. Man.
Does he have a tag team, little skinny tag team partner?
Yeah.
Well, it just looks really interesting. And me and Angio, after her treatments, we want to come up and we want to watch some of your wrestling stuff. Now, I don't want to be put through a table because I'll have my docket with me and I'll throw it at
but
people.
You might have to fill in as my lawyer for just one match. Just one match. I'll make sure nothing happens.
All right. Well, I have an addictive personality, so keep crackhead Kevin away from me. But we want to do that, and then we want to go and we want to see Big Daddy Rhino's boatyard, the Big Daddy's boatyard type thing too. So I think we're looking at August around then, but I definitely want to do that. So
that would be awesome.
Interesting. I've even got an aerial shot of where his boats are and stuff. I'm very curious about this. I'm not I've never had a boat or anything, but I'm definitely a fun enthusiast. I mean, definitely when you talk. Well, I like a little more naturey type stuff. I'd rather go to a boatyard than go to a theme park.
Sure.
So that's where I'm going with that. Yeah. So I'm very interested in what he's got there. I want to see it. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him as a friend, but also, I think he's going to do well too because we sat with him for many hours at tables. Watching him sell pictures to people, and he jumps right on you. He's ready to go. He's a salesman. He's a salesman.
Yep.
I mean,
first and foremost,
he was only missing a top hat, a cane, and the words "hurry, hurry, hurry." That's about all he was missing at that point. So I'm very confident he'll do well too. As well. So very cool.
For sure.
Very good stuff going on, Mr. Ben Harley. And then you're done with the wrestling event. I think so. We'll have to wait till maybe next week to find out the next date.
Yeah.
For the next wrestling event? Okay.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We got a lot of stuff going on. I got a tough week this week.
Yeah.
Space Time Continuum for Retro Invasion plus a show. Wrestling event. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And a shortened week. So.
Yeah. I'll have to give you guys some wrestling advice. I'll have to give you some moves. Yeah. That I got and things like that.
You might have to cut a wrestling promo as my lawyer.
I might.
Yeah.
I'll be that guy, hey, you guys are wrestlers? Yeah. Let me show you through a few moves I learned in karate class last week.
Yeah, there you go.
Come at me like this. There you go. So, well, good. Very good. So we got things going on. As far as me, I'm starting Ultraman and Fragile Porcelain Mice practices back again. As a matter of fact, Mr. Ben Harley, as we speak tonight, Fragile Porcelain Mice is going to come over and we're going to work on a new song. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't picked up a guitar in a couple months, so I think it's time to pick one back up.
I think so, my friend. Yeah. I think so. The world demands it. I demand it.
Well, you or the world, that's close enough. I'm going to grab it.
At me?
No, well, I'm laughing with you.
Thank you.
I had a reflection of you, so
yeah,
close but no cigar. Let's get to a few things I watched here, Mr. Ben Harley, this week, real quick before we get to our official little film. Just doing one this week in the interest of time and sanity for us. Let's see here. Sir. First up, Mr. Ben Harley. You know what? I'll go in no, I'm not going to go in chronological order because I don't feel like it. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
From 1931.
Yes.
I'm in the Centurion class here almost
back.
Almost 100 years ago. Yeah. I watched The Public Enemy. With James Cagney in it, and Jean Harlow and Joan Blondell in it. The old classic gangster flick. I watched this in place of White Heat. Angio's been wanting to watch like an old film noir gangster movie, and I want to watch White Heat, but my copy was messed up.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, so I had to spring and get another one, and it's not here yet. So to take the place, I thought, well, we'll watch another one of James Cagney classics. We'll watch The Public Enemy. Yeah. Mr. Ben Harley, there's classics out there, and I'm a movie snob. I just don't like this movie. I don't like it. Nope. I think it's kind of boring. Now, I watched Little Caesar, which I believe is older than this, with Edward G. Robinson. That's an old, creaky gangster movie, too. But, yeah, boy, it's just so much better.
Really?
It's just, yeah, I mean, it's just a really good movie. So this movie is famous for the scene where James Cagney takes, like, the cream puff and shoves it in the woman's face.
Oh, yeah.
So you've seen it. They're sitting at a table. And he's shoving it in her face. Well, that's kind of fun to see, but it's really uncalled for. Even in the movie, I'm like, well, that's funny, but boy, could have had a little more self-control there. I don't know. I didn't really dig it, Mr. Ben Harley. I didn't really dig it. I will have to report back on White Heat, though, because I do love that movie. I should be getting it here soon. So
okay.
Let's see. Moving on, Mr. Ben Harley.
Lay that out, my man.
All right. From 2011. All right.
Yeah.
This was on Amazon Prime. This is one I think you should watch. Now, 2011, almost 10 years old already. It's still relevant.
Yeah. Isn't that
this
crazy?
movie's still. It's almost. I know it is crazy. This movie is called The Other F Word. Okay, The Other F Word happens to be fatherhood, and this movie is about a bunch of middle-aged punks. Who are now fathers and stuff, and we have like guys from No Effects.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So Pennywise, the singer for Pennywise, is in there, and it's funny because even though it was made 10 years ago, these guys are about the same age.
Yeah,
it's kind of as we are, and so I can really identify with this movie. And
I'm sure
chances the same age as these people's kids.
Yeah.
Now he's 11 years old now, but I just said this movie's 10 years old.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I found a lot to this movie to identify with, and I was laughing my ass off at this movie. So a guy, I think is a singer. I don't know much about like popular punk bands, so forgive me. So Pennywise, this was basically the first time I really saw Pennywise. I know who they are. Believe me, I know who they are. I mean, it's like Van Halen to me. I know exactly who they are. I just don't listen to them. I don't listen to much music, though, Mr. Ben Harley.
No. I'm not. They're okay. I'm not a huge fan of them.
Sure. Okay, so
I know a little, very little.
Right. Well, is the singer for No Effects kind of a sloppy, kind of fat, drunk guy?
Yeah, I think that's Fat Mike.
It's him. That's him. He's in this.
He also plays bass for one of my favorite bands, that Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, which I really like. They do all cover tunes, but the punk rock cover tunes.
Well, they have Fat Mike in there. I don't know if this was Fat Mike's story or not. I'm not sure. Yeah. One of these guys had a story.
I like Fat Mike. Yeah.
I think it might have been, maybe it was him, somebody else. So anyway, I can't remember who's telling the story. It's a documentary. You know how it is. You hear the story, you're lucky to remember anything about these things. It's like remembering riffs on riff tracks. This guy says, I decide that I'm going to go to my daughter's school and I'm going to volunteer at my daughter's school. for a party or something like that. And he's being an upstanding parent and a punk rocker. So he's thinking, I'm going to go do the right thing and blah, this and that. So, okay, fine. Well, he says, I was so stupid. I didn't even realize that I was wearing a fuck the police t-shirt. So his daughter, they put the guy's daughter on the screen and she says, yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. My dad came to school and he ended up in the principal's office. I had to go get him. And he goes, it's just how stupid I am, but he was talking about how this is who I am. Yeah. And he's like, so it's hard for me not to be this, but I'm trying to be the right parent. I know exactly what these people mean. Trying to balance what your kid can find. I mean, think about it. Corey watches me on YouTube obsessively. Yeah. He likes the band. It isn't me. I don't think he likes me a whole lot. He likes the band. And so this house is full of Ultraman Fragile Porcelain Mice. That's what it's just what it is. So to find videos of me doing stupid shit. Oh God, Mr. Ben Harley, thank God we didn't come up in this era. Oh, the stuff that'd be online would be just I couldn't raise a kid. I could not raise a kid. I mean, you can still be a rock star when I was coming through the ranks, nobody knew anything. There was only Polaroids, and I can tear those up, it was just a fun movie. Again, called The Other F Word, Mr. Ben Harley. I think you should go and Prime.
Yeah, I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, you'd like it.
I watched the trailer for it.
Okay.
A couple months back.
Right. Well, I mean, it's like, okay, these are like bands that we might not listen to. But they come from bands we did listen to. It's still punk rock, and it's still the same story. The road doesn't change.
No.
The road is the road, whether you're in a van or a bus. It's the road. Right. It really is. I promise everybody that. It's not that much different. It's really not. All right, so moving on, Mr. Ben Harley. Let's see, from 1985. Watch the Cannon film. Yep, Cannon. Yep. Life Force.
Oh, geez.
But you didn't know Life Force was even canon. So the Toby Hooper, What the Hell Did I Just Do movie, Life Force. Yes, we did watch that with my good friend and smoking partner, Steve Railsback. in the film. This movie is so frustrating because it's got some of the most amazing practical special effects by John Dykstra. It was involved in this little movie called Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, has amazing effects and the cool ass story, really. And man, in 1885, they were giving you the blueprint on how to fuck shit up. By the end of this, you're going, what on earth is going on? I mean, what the hell is happening? Why is Steve Railsback having sex with an alien and it's over?
It was kind of like what's the Star Trek. The
Star
motion
Trek picture.
Movie.
The original.
At the end, you're like, what is going on? He's just melding with her, so I don't know.
Right.
Weird shit. Yeah.
We did have a little bit of fun watching it. I mean, to see like Patrick Stewart. We did review that. Yeah. And it's like, it's not that I don't like it. It's frustrating because I want to like it so much more than I do. I will say one thing: it plays better like unedited than it does on television. Because I did see it on television. Now, when I saw on television, they didn't have to edit things out. Yeah. So I saw it on my channel 11, my mom and pop station, that didn't edit stuff up. So the beautiful woman who walks around nude, which is really about 3/4 of the reason to watch the movie.
Worth watching, yeah.
I think even Angio was appreciating what she was seeing. She's like, I'll watch that too. Yeah, you got me on that one. It's a little bit easier to watch without commercial breaks because, boy, I tell you what, you lose where you're at quick in this movie.
Yeah.
Placeholders don't work real good, in this one. So, so that was okay. It was all right. It was just some kind of a dart at the wall. Just pulled it out of my shelves and we threw it in. Last up, Mr. Ben Harley. We've been on kind of a freak out of late on this kind of stuff. From 1958, we did watch the original version of The Fly.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I like that. That is good. Man.
It's a good one. It is a good one. But it was really interesting to watch the 80s, quote, remake and then watch this one and see how diametrically different they are.
Yeah.
It's the opposite story. Almost in a way, where in the original Fly, it's the wife running around trying to find the other fly, to try to find the little fly. so that she can send it back through with her husband scientist guy so they can try to reestablish normalcy. Because he's got to get back in the pod with the fly and be transported across.
Yep.
Because he had the fly had an arm and the fly had his head and arm.
Yeah.
So basically there's no transformation in this movie. It just boom happens.
Yeah.
And the remake is this long, arduous, painful transformation.
It is a stark difference.
It is.
Know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like, I know when we reviewed the original Fly, I was kind of blown away how good it was.
It is
so long since I'd seen it, and then the reveal too. Still to this day, that reveal is still kick ass,
right?
And it looks good. It's like it looks real,
right?
You know what I mean? It does. It much better than the second one or whatever.
Oh yeah,
the Return of the Fly.
Oh, and that's sad too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think of that giant fly head in Return of the Fly or whatever. I think they. It's almost like calling the Frankenstein monster Frankenstein. I think they see that big fly head and think that was the original Fly makeup.
Yeah.
The original Fly was really good. Like you're saying, the makeup was good. It was kind of bloody in the couple of scenes that wasn't a violent movie, but it does have a little gore in it and stuff like that. Kind of icky.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like the original Fly a lot.
Yeah.
And then
well, it also introduces the archetypal character of Philippe, the kid, who was the, I guess, the string through all the movies, Philippe. Yes. So So we have Philippe, and he actually, it's frustrating because he catches that fly and his mom makes him let it go and stuff. There's a lot of like neat little like ironic scenes like that and stuff in the Fly, and it just has a good. Oh, I don't know. It's got a good cast to it. It's color. It's shot beautifully.
Yep. Yeah.
And it could be really boring, but it's not. No, it could be really boring.
I like it. To me, it's still one of the better films of that time period.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think so. Like that and the Blob too. The Blob. Going back and watching that, I was a little blown away too how good that was. And stuff. Yeah. Tarantula. Throw Tarantula in there and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. You got anything, Mr. Ben Harley?
Timo, it was kind of a light week, so I really don't have a whole heck of a lot, but I know we're in the space-time continuum, but yes, my Walleye made it to the finals.
Oh boy.
They're down 2-0 right now. We're going Wednesday night, but of course, it happens to lie on the weekend that we're gone for Retro Invasion, the other 2 games here in Toledo. So, but that's okay. We'll persevere, and we'll. But that's okay. It sucks. They lost both games in overtime. They're playing Newfoundland. You know where Newfoundland is, Timo?
It's that Newfoundland over there.
Yes, it's a long ways from here. Poor Toledo had to travel from Tulsa, all the way Tulsa, Oklahoma. All the way to Newfoundland.
Whoa. Why would they go to Tulsa? They go to Newfoundland.
Well, Tulsa's
That's the wrong
in
direction.
Their division. Yes. Well, Newfoundland's in the east were supposedly the west.
Oh, so they had to play their last round.
Yes.
And I got you. I thought they took a flight and went to Tulsa and then Newfoundland. I'm like, wow, that must have been a cut-rate flight.
It's a good thing they didn't have to drive the bus because they were busing all the way to Tulsa. It was like 13. So good thing they didn't have to bus to Newfoundland. So, yes, they're down 2-0, but they were going to the game. It's been a lot of fun. Even they're down. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed going to the games. It's fun for Toledo. It's good to see the town come together, So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that, my friend. Okay. Now a little horror stuff I got to talk about too. All right. Now this is something I know you'll know about. I know your brother will definitely know about too. When I was a kid, I liked Alice Cooper. I knew who Alice Cooper kind of was because of my older brother. And I didn't know much about Alice Cooper, though. I just knew it was music. But this little show came on Showtime back in the day, and it was called The Strange Case of Alice Cooper. And it's a live performance of Alice Cooper. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, Timo, or not, but this used to play on Showtime when I was a kid. And it's a live, and it was like right after and I didn't know this at the time, but it was right after he had got rid of the Alice Cooper band.
Gotcha. Okay.
and started doing this,
So around Welcome to My Nightmare era?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
think that was his first solo record. Am I right about that?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And so the band, I didn't know at the time until I got older and gone back and watched this live performance. I didn't like it near as much as I did when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was a little guy and I saw this on Showtime, it freaked me out a little bit. In a good way. It was almost like the Ramones, me seeing the Ramones on Rock and Roll High School a little bit. It didn't have quite the effect musically as it did visually. I mean, I knew who Alice Cooper was and I knew the music, so it didn't shock me as much musically as it did visually. And man, how intense, you got Cyclopses and there's a little ballet, a little too much ballet for my liking in it. But I will say, going back, I watched it the other day. The band's nowhere near the Alice Cooper band.
Right.
Nowhere near. It doesn't sound as good. It just, for me, it takes me out of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that as a kid, I had no idea. So, but it had a big influence on me, humongous influence as a kid, and was one of the reasons I liked shock rock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I liked Kiss and I liked Alice Cooper and things like that. And even to a certain extent, Arthur Brown,
mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. The Crazy World of, but it really influenced me to start liking other bands slowly going forward, with the Lizzie Borden, the King Diamond and Guar and things like that, But this one really, it did influence me heavily. And it was kind of cool to go back and watch it. It's on, I found it on Shout Factory, but Shout Factory stinks on Roku now.
Oh my God, they changed it. Yeah, it's junk. It's junk now. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if they're trying
Lowe's with a capital B.
I don't know if they're trying to push like a paid subscription or something, but it's like, I haven't looked at it since they changed it. I haven't bothered looking at it. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, sucks. So it is on there though, but if you want to see it, it's okay. Alice looks really bad, and I think it's right after he started to try to get sober too.
Mm-hmm.
And he had been really sickly up until then. But it's still good. I got some great stuff visually, really cool. A lot of stuff in it. It's really over the top, and it's what made me really love Alice Cooper. And when I first saw him live, I was just blown away, mesmerized, absolutely. And still to this day, one of the greatest concerts I've ever seen in my life, only for the fact that it blew my mind at the time. So yeah, Timo, if you get a chance, check it out. I know your brother probably knows a little bit about it or a lot about it too. But yeah, it heavily influenced my shock rock directory.
Gotcha.
How about that? So yeah, and it was kind of cool to go back. It gave me a lot of it I forgot about, but it was a Showtime staple. It was one of those King Kong type things for me back in the day. I didn't even know what concerts were about because I'd never even been to one.
Right.
Up to that point, I didn't even know. So it was like one of the first live performances I'd ever seen, like on film, besides like Woodstock and stuff like that when I was little, things like that you would see, but not that was like, for me, it was cool. I'm like, you're mixing, this is horror and the music I like together. It was cool, to see it live. It's just mind blowing for me. You know what I mean? And it hasn't lasted the test of time too well. So
no,
that band didn't. I didn't like the band very much. They were good, but
you have to learn how to piece. You got to learn how to piece a band together, and he's learned very good now. Now he knows really good how to do it. But
it's one of the best live shows you'll ever see. You're actually almost overcome by how many great songs that guy's put out. It's just unbelievable.
Right. That's all you got?
Yep, Timo, I said it's been kind of a light week. Not much Mystery Science.
We got a heavy week of stuff going around. We've been watching Mystery Science too. Oh, you watched? Oh boy! Oh,
again, boy. I love that.
That's a good one. Between the wig and the partner, I don't know who's more uneven.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, your black gift.
Yeah.
Is your black gift okay? Your beautiful black gift.
We watched Birdemic.
Oh,
so we did. I think it was the studio one that we watched. We hadn't seen that one before, so that was pretty good. Yeah. We've been watching them. What did we watch last night too? We watched Final Justice.
Oh, Joe Don Baker.
Yeah, Joe Don Baker. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yep. Oh, and then that was the one where Mike is like trying to escape because they watched a bad Joe Don Baker movie, and that was the last thing Joel did because they did Mitchell right before he escaped. So Mike was sitting there, and Crow's like, "You do know you're in the boiler, right? You're not in the escape pod." It went with Joel. Yeah, I know that. He was okay. But that was pretty fun. So we've been keeping up on those. We've been going through all of my discs. So we started at Mystery. We're going in chronological order. We're going to start at Mystery Science Theater, then go to Film Crew, which not a lot of people know about. That was a short-lived thing where they were just riffing. It's like riff tracks.
Yeah,
kind of a cross between Mystery Science Theater and riff tracks. They tried to make a wraparound thing, and then they would just do a commentary instead of the silhouettes. With riff tracks, they just decided to go straight to the commentaries because the wraparound stuff is it's a waste of their time.
It's a lot. It's
a lot. And I know when they did the show that was very important to them, that they worked very hard on those wraparound things and the props and everything. It's got to be majorly frustrating to all of them that that's not what people remember. They remember the riffing, and that's got to be frustrating. But it is what it is. So, have you been watching them on Amazon or just Shout?
A little bit there, and then
Shout didn't have much anymore.
No.
Pluto. You've been watching live stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been doing the live, and then either Mystery Science or the riff tracks, the different. Samurai Cop was on the other day. What else? I watched again L.A. Connection, I think, or Miami Connection, or whatever.
Yeah, that's another good one. That's one the karate house, the house of the karate school, and they play in a rock band. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What are they? Not Double Dragon, Sound Dragon or something. Dragon Sound.
Dragon Sound, yeah. You can imagine me watching that going, no.
Some of the worst air guitar by the little guy, the director guy. Oh, my God.
It's pretty bad.
And then some impromptu karate seminar on stage.
Right. Mr. Ben Hurley, let's get the hell out of that. Let's get to our official film for this week.
All right, let's do it, buddy. That's good, my friend.
All right, so let's see. Official film from 1939, Mr. Ben Harley. We have the movie The Man They Could Not Hang.
Yeah.
So we have here another Boris Karloff, because we on the show here are on an official. Yes,
we are.
Boris Karloff, freak out.
Freak out, my friend.
Right. This is another Nick Grinde or Grind or whatever his name is. Now, last week we discussed Before I Hang. Yeah. Now, this is The Man They Could Not Hang. So a lot of hanging out. A lot of hanging things going on. Yeah, a lot of hanging going on. Yeah. Same director and everything. Let me get out Movie Guy and give you a short storyline synopsis here for The Man They Could Not Hang. Here we go.
Yeah.
When Dr. Savard's experiment in cryonics is interrupted by the short-sighted authorities, his volunteer dies, and he is condemned to death. He vows vengeance if he can survive his own hanging.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. I got a bird trying to fly in my window. This happens about once a day. All right. Get out of here, bird. When you try to tap the window the first time, it's not going to get softer the second. All right. Yes, so that's okay here. Now, basically, he made a shaky, breaky artificial heart.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The Boris Karloff did. That's I guess, I don't know if you want to call it a MacGuffin. Yeah. Now, hold on, Bird. Would you stop trying to knock? This is like I'm living the Raven.
Is it
He's
a Raven?
Tapping on my chamber window door thing. Okay.
It's coming for you, Timmy.
So, again, this was directed by Nick Grinde, who also did Before I Hang. He's into hanging. Really into hanging stuff here. And Boris Karloff, apparently. So basically, this movie is a revenge against the judge, jury, and lawyers and the scientists.
Yes.
And so in this one, he is doing an experimental procedure. And yes, he is interrupted because he's doing it on like this young guy. And the young guy is what, fiance or
student,
or fiance or girlfriend or something like that. She gets cold feet about the whole procedure, runs and gets the authorities.
Yeah.
While he's doing it, and they interrupt it, and he dies. The guy dies, but Karloff says,
I just need like an hour. Give me an hour and I can bring him back to life.
Exactly. So Karloff is trying to use this, as I'm calling it, the achy breaky artificial heart. So he's trying to do this. Now they do condemn Karloff, right?
Yes.
And they do think they offed him, right?
They hang him.
They hang him. They could not hang him, but they hung him. They hung him.
Well, what he does is the thing is he has his little sidekick. He tears all out of there like before the cops show up. So, and he continues on with his experiments or whatever. So when they condemn Karloff to die, he shows up because Karloff says, I'm donating my body to science to this gentleman.
Right.
So when he dies, that gentleman, takes his body and whisks him away and does what, Timo? Brings him back to life.
With the achy breaky artificial heart.
Yeah.
Shaking around and making noises and stuff. I'm glad that thing isn't trying to rest in my rib cage. I can tell you
that. It was coal powered, right?
It was coal powered. Yeah, it was a steampunk artificial heart. Yeah. Have we reviewed this before? Because I was watching this. I've seen this a couple of times, and I was just wondering if we'd reviewed it before. Okay, just making sure.
No, it looks familiar, but no.
Okay, well, and these movies are fairly similar to each other. They really are. But a couple of these are really good. So that's the movie. Now, again, these movies are very forgiving because this movie right here is like an hour and 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
So it's not overstaying its welcome. By any means at all. So, this one has it sort of becomes, it starts off as one of these mad scientists. I got my achy, shaky, breaky heart, artificial heart. Yeah. You can try to kill me if you want. I'm going to, like you said, donate my body to my non-hunchbacked assistant. He needed a hunch. That dude needed a hunch bad, man.
Crooked eye or something.
What kind of world do we live in when you can't find a hunchbacked assistant anymore? Anyway, so gives him to him, and then he, of course, everyone, judge, jury, everybody, they all think he's dead, of course, because he was declared dead.
Oh, and he gives a big. I like that speech he gives at the courthouse. He condemns it. He goes through and everybody, but the bailiff and the recorder, I think he. Gives the business to, says, I'm,
He goes heel. He goes heel on it. Makes a heel turn right there. Yep. Yeah. So now then the movie kind of turns into what I like to call a dark old house, spooky reading in the will type thing. He gets everybody to, I don't remember whose house it is. So forgive me about that.
Yeah.
It's a big old creepy joint. And he gets all of these people back there.
Because he'd already killed off some people, I think, already. Tim, right? Yeah, he
tells them to show up, and then he basically traps them with this like electrified gate inside the house that nobody can get in or out of or whatever. Yeah. Now, I remember that really good. I think Angie and I watched this not too long ago, too, because she's like, I remember this, too. So that's basically it. So he has everybody trapped in there, and then that's kind of where the rest of the movie lies. Now, he does have his daughter who comes back, and she's the foil. She's the one that wants to try to save everybody and stuff. And that's Boris Karloff's only soft spot. Of course, it's his daughter.
His daughter.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, so it plays out basically like that. Another interesting thing, Mr. Ben Harley, about this, and I'm getting a kick out of this. Something's going on. So the jury foreman guy.
Yeah.
Who he was involved. He was back at the house too. That guy was Dick Curtis.
Dick Curtis.
So Dick Curtis, he was another heavy on the Three Stooges.
Okay, yeah.
So a lot of these Karloff movies, and I'm not done with them either, by the way, because we got more Karloff movies in the future coming with more Three Stooges connections going on. So that was another Three Stooges connection. I got a kick last week when we did Before I Hang, because the guy that played Ichabod Slip, or as his name tag says, I Slip. Okay. So that guy, Kenneth McDonald, he was in Before I Hang. So now Dick Curtis, another bad guy in the Three Stooges, is in The Man That Could Not Hang. So if you got a noose and you got Karloff around, you've got a Three Stooges extra heavy around or whatever. So. This wasn't a bad movie, though. I thought this was okay. If it was 10 minutes longer, I think it would hurt it.
Yeah.
I really
do. This one, Karloff is really, he puts in a really good acting performance in this. When he's condemning all the people, at the trial, or at the sentencing, Yeah, it's just great, man. Just great. So, and then also, he's laying on the gurney once he gets brought back to life, or whatever, and he looks like the mummy with a neck brace on. But he's laying it out too, big time. He is unhappy, and he is, and just about what he's going to do, and then also he's like, they're like, no, but you're alive. He's like, yeah, so I can be a sideshow freak, pay 5 cents to come see, like stuff like that. I was like, wow.
Right. The procedure doesn't help his mood out at all.
No, it makes him very angry.
Right.
Not a happy fella at all.
He's got a good look in this movie too.
Yeah.
Whereas I think in Before I Hang, he went from like the old guy to the not quite as old guy, but still pretty old guy. This one, he's got like, fiery white hair. He's clean shaven. He looks a little more evil in this one.
Sure.
A little more dastardly. And he is more evil and dastardly in this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I think that it's an interesting story that goes to interesting places. My only gripe is it doesn't do many interesting things.
No, not really.
It opens the door for a lot of it, but it just doesn't totally pay off. I think it's ambitious, and they have everything there. But again, I said if it was 10 minutes longer, it'd be too long. So it could have been rearranged a little bit. But look, it's a Boris Karloff B movie from 1939.
Yeah,
and it's good. I mean,
it's really good. I think
it's a very good movie. So I'm going to give it a great ape up, a strong, solid great ape up. What are you going to do?
Same thing, Timo. I think this, and Karloff's done some great stuff over the years, but this is one of his better acting performances to me. I don't know. I'm not reaching, or I don't think I am. I just think there's a lot of stuff he really knocked out of the park in this, and he was just pissed and played it well. And I did like the whole bit while he was on the gurney. That part was really, I thought, awesome. And it showed, because we've been talking about this, his acting prowess or chops, and I think this was by far the best performance in the ones that we've done here recently too.
Yeah. Well, and this is what I've been talking about. The Karloff movies from the 40s, like this is 39, but let's say post Universal horror, and this is not post Universal, but it's getting long in the tooth. It's getting up there.
Yeah.
And when he went and did movies for other studios, like in the Columbia and stuff like that too, man, he was just so comfortable in front of the camera too, that it helps his performances out. And this is no exception whatsoever. And this is one of those movies I think people should watch to understand why Karloff is the monster, is why Karloff is Karloff.
Right.
But when you see Karloff stereotyped as the mad scientist, you have to watch the rest of his movies to realize he did this shit way, way more than he did the Frankenstein monster stuff or anything. Like that was his famous stuff, but this was what he really cut his teeth on. He lived off this stuff. His bread and butter were these movies. And I just think that they're very good and they're very well performed and written. This is no exception. So 2 great apes up for the man they could not hang.
Yeah, they just couldn't do it.
Well, they did, but they couldn't hang him all the way correctly, I guess. I don't know. So, well, next up, Mr. Benhart, next week. Let's see. This is a short show. We are busy, as we've been explaining and stuff. So we got a short show here. So next week we're going to have Senor Danny Hicks on the show. As long as he's okay, as long as he's up to it. His voice has been a little rough after that surgery he had a few years ago. So he sort of sounds like Froggy a little bit. But I think it's time that we ridicule Danny Hicks for this unfortunate thing that he can't help with. So what's better to ridicule somebody with an unfortunate thing they can't help and didn't ask for?
Right. What are good friends for, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's when it's really funny. So so next week, Mr. Ben Harley, I'm going to give, and we don't do this very often, but I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Next week, we are going to do the Karloff film, The Devil Commands.
Yes. He commands.
That's right.
He commands us to do it. Yes.
That's right. So we're going to have Danny Hicks and the Devil commanding things around. So there you go.
Yeah.
Little teaser for you, a little spoiler for next week. Until then, Mr. Ben Harley, though, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.